Hello and welcome to LIS471 571. This lecture will present a brief overview of the course, and I'll go over how the course will be structured, what you'll need, and how the course will be organized. First, let me say that I'm looking forward to guiding you through the material and helping to give you a good background and information in communication technology. I've always really enjoyed working with technology, and if you like working with information, as I do, and figuring out how to organize it, finding out what kind of things it can tell you, then I hope you will too. I'm sure some of you may feel a little intimidated by the technology, but we'll take it step by step with clear instructions and plenty of support. So if you keep up and ask questions, there isn't any reason all of you shouldn't do well in the course. So let's begin. We'll get some administrative details out of the way, and the first thing you should do is read the syllabus very carefully. The syllabus is a formal agreement between the instructor and the students. You're responsible for everything on it, including the policies and understanding grading, and so on. There will be some quiz questions on the syllabus. The syllabus is considered draft up to the first day of class, and then it's a binding agreement. The syllabus contains tentative schedules and topics that may change during the semester depending on how the class goes, so be aware of that. But policies and grading are firm once the course starts. The course is an online course conducted in the Desire to Learn course management system. The syllabus contains links to the course login site and the D2L help and tutorial links. Be sure you know how to get around in D2L by the time the course starts. The syllabus also contains contact information for the university's 24-hour technical support help desk. The syllabus lists several objectives for the course that you should read, but let me give you an overview. First of all, there are many things that any upper division undergraduate or graduate course titled Introduction to Technology should cover. And for this reason, we're going to use a standard text to make sure you have a grounding in some of these key areas. But we also want to make sure you have hands-on technical skills and a sense of the history and development of the technological world we live in today. So the text will be supplemented by additional labs and readings, and you'll find out more about those as the course unfolds. I'm requiring a primary textbook, Fluency with Information Technology 7th edition, and you'll need access to the Student Companion website. So if you rent the text or purchase it used, there's an additional $24 charge that you'll need to expect. Feedback from past classes tells me that students overwhelmingly prefer the print editions over ebook editions for textbooks. But if you do get ebooks, be sure to read them on large screens because of the charts, graphs, and illustrations that kind of lose impact and may not be readable on smaller e-reading devices. There are two books that we'll read and discuss in small groups, a book called The Innovators by the biography of Stephen Jobs, and a shorter essay that I think you'll enjoy debating. Finally, you'll need the full Microsoft Office suite for some of the hands-on exercises, either Macintosh or the PC. A free license is available to UA students, or you can use the library computers if you don't want to install it on your own computer. Now, let's talk about how the course will lay out as the semester progresses. First, there's a calendar and schedule for the course in the course documents folder of D2L content. You should look at it and transfer any deadlines to your own calendar if you keep one. There are 15 units, so in a fall or spring semester, each week a unit opens on Wednesday in content. And at the very least, there will be a written module plan and a link to one or more video lectures. We'll work in pace as a class, and although you can read ahead in the textbooks if you like, the module plans and lectures won't open early in order to keep us all together. The module plan will outline the objectives for the unit, list in detail the readings for the unit, provide links to video lectures or other videos and readings, provide a list of discussion questions, and outline the specifics of assignments you are to complete. There's a quiz or exam due each week. All quizzes are taken in the D2L quiz engine. All assignments are to be uploaded to the D2L assignments Dropbox. All discussion takes place in the D2L discussion section. All assignments, discussion, and quizzes are due by 11 p.m. Tucson time on Friday the week following. So in a fall or spring offering, you have approximately 10 days to complete each unit with a little overlap. In the summer, the 15 units are covered in approximately 10 weeks. So pay attention to the schedule of due dates. It means we've compressed a week into 4 or 5 days with subsequent shorter due dates. And so you're going to have to pay much closer attention to the schedule because you won't have that kind of weekly pacing that we do in the fall or spring. Over the course of the semester, you should expect to spend about 8 to 10 hours per unit, or 135 to 150 hours for a fall or spring offering. So as I say, in the fall or spring, that works out to about 8 to 10 hours per week. In summer, it's much more compressed. You should probably expect to be spending at least 13 to 15 hours per week over the 10 weeks of the course's duration. Grading is covered in the syllabus. I'll talk about it briefly here. You can read the breakdown in more detail. There are 7 grade components. The first component is weekly assignments, sets of exercises due each week. That's 30% of your grade. There are weekly discussions totaling 15% of your grade. Quizzes are 15%. Exams are 15%. There's a couple of assignments due 5% each. And then there's a final project totaling 15% of your grade. For undergraduates, the project is individual, and it's a relatively simple JavaScript assignment. For graduate students, the project is a group project that also involves a peer review component. Details of the project are posted in content course documents once the course gets underway. So about the assignments, each unit's assignments include exercises you need to complete from the either from the course textbook or other assignments that are specified in the module plans. The hands-on exercises are mostly completion exercises unless otherwise specified, so you need to do the exercises and then prove that you completed them. In many cases, that just involves uploading a screen print of the completed exercise to the Dropbox. So be sure you know how to create screen prints for the upload for your particular computer operating system. Also note that you may be asked in the case of the textbook exercises to custom modify some of the data so I can identify from the screen print that the exercise screen print uploaded is uniquely yours. So be sure to read the instructions very carefully in the module plan. For many units, there will be multiple assignments, so there may be more than one upload. And unless otherwise indicated, you pretty much get full credit for timely submission of a fully completed set of assignments. And the syllabus covers the deductions that will apply for late submissions. Now, a small portion of the course grade, about 15%, will be based on the class discussion. Depending on the size of the class, and the class is usually reasonably well populated, I divide the class into smaller groups for discussion. Very large classes, it's almost impossible to have a reasonable discussion. So I break it into smaller groups. And that keeps it interactive and fresh, and makes it so that you don't have to read quite so many responses and wade through so much material. The discussion questions are based on lectures and readings, and those are all included in the module plan. So each week, a different student will act as a discussion leader to kind of keep the discussion moving and to organize questions about, mostly about the 2 books we'll be reading over the semester. There's a separate Ask the Instructor discussion section to ask technical questions or to seek help or clarification with assignments. But please don't post quiz questions or answers. Technical questions and questions about the material and the text should be asked in the Ask the Instructor section and not an email. Please don't email technical questions there. I want to discuss those within the context of the class so that we can get those answered for everyone. And students are also encouraged to help each other in the Ask the Instructor discussion section. A lot of good information comes from your peers, and that's always good practice in technology, to work with peers to try to solve problems. So you must post at least 2 substantive, what we call top posts, your primary discussion posts, although more are encouraged, and that'll help add to your understanding of the course and the topics. You should post your first top post well before the deadline to give others time to respond. You can't all wait till the last day to do posts, or nobody will get a chance to respond. And if I see the class or a particular section waiting until the last minute to post, I'm going to reserve the option to set an earlier deadline for the top post, but hopefully everybody will be on top of the material, and we'll have good, robust discussions. You're also responsible for reading all of the posts in your discussion section. You can't just hit and run with your posts and then not read everybody else's posts, and that is tracked by D2L. So you will get points deducted if you don't read all of the posts in your discussion section. I don't grade individual posts for this class, but I do keep track of and occasionally participate in the discussion. If I see that you're flagging, I'll let you know individually if your posts aren't meeting standard. It should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway, the post should be civil and respectful. If we get into flames or bullying or impolite argumentation, that can result in loss of credit, and repeated violations can lead to other sanctions. There's something in the syllabus about the classroom and community behavior policy, so take a look at that. Hopefully we won't have to mention it further. Quizzes. There are quizzes scheduled for each unit except for the week of the midterm and the last week of the final exam. These are short, usually between 15 and 25, multiple choice, multiple select, true, false. These cover the terminology and basic concepts drawn from the readings and lectures. Most of these are based on the text. You're graded on the best of up to 3 attempts. And the grading scheme is adjusted to the standard 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, and so on. The quizzes are on the honor system. They're open book, but you must take them yourself and not discuss the quiz specifics with fellow students, or post the questions or answers online. So you can take a look at the Student Code of Academic Integrity in the syllabus. And, I think the important thing is that you use these quizzes as learning tools. They're meant to reinforce terms and basic concepts, and they should be straightforward. They're not meant to trick you or fool you in any way. The quiz open, due, late, and close dates are the same as discussion and assignment dates for the weeks in which they're assigned. And then the midterm and final basically look just like the quizzes. There are more questions, but they're drawn almost entirely from the quiz pool. There might be an additional question or two, but all of them, 99% of them, should look familiar to you. So there shouldn't be any surprises. So use these as learning tools. So there's a couple of short assignments. There is a tech journal. I used to use the blogging tool, but the blogging tool in D2L doesn't really work very well, so I've just moved it over to a discussion section. But in the module plan, you might see it referred to as a blog, but it's in a discussion section now. There's a discussion section for each unit. And basically what this is designed to get you reading in the media about technology. So the discussion section is set up, and what I want you to do quite simply is to start reading in tech journals, and I've got a list, or it could be places you've already been reading, or just tech sections of newspapers. And I want you to find an article each week, bookmark it, and then comment briefly about it, 150 to 250 words maybe. nothing extensive, and reflect on the article in the context of some kind of issue, social ethics, impact on society, so on. Not just summarize the facts of the article, but put some thought into it and what the impact is. And these are spaced out, one per unit, so at the end of the semester you'll have 15 articles. Don't wait to the end of the semester and try to do all 15. Space them out, one per week. And I'll be checking that discussion section periodically. The second assignment is one that I do in a couple of my classes. You probably also did it if you're a master's student in LIS471, but I'm going to have you research 4 job postings in the tech sector and review the particulars, what education is required, the skills you need, and so on. The master's and LIS students should focus on libraries, museums, archives, and all of you should focus on institutions where you might think you'd like to work. There's more details on that in the content course document section when the course opens. So I think that should get you started. The course opens up in D2L a few days in advance of the first day of class, and you should post an introduction in the discussion section provided. Then the first unit opens on the first day of class, and we'll begin with the first couple of chapters from the text and a quiz, including a few questions on the syllabus. You need the textbooks the first few days, and then either plan on having all of the Microsoft Office software installed or confirm where you're going to be able to get it if you weren't installing it yourself, because we start with hands-on work right away. So thank you for watching. I look forward to working with you all in the coming semester, and good luck.